So we salute his service, and we're glad Nora got a word in there too. A great new chapter for that family. I'll see you right back here tomorrow. Good night.
We had the severe storms yesterday, and then we have a bit of a break today and tomorrow, but then right back to some active weather on Friday. We have another Viper 6 alert day in effect as we track the possibility of some severe storms. All those details coming up. Investigation underway in Aiken. The suspect now in custody. What we know so far about the victim. And the latest on the search for an Augusta city administrator, why the field is now down to 2 names. As your news at 7 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 7.
Good evening, everyone. You're watching News Channel 6 and 7. I'm Dee Griffin. We thank you so much for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins in Bamberg, South Carolina, where the National Weather Service has confirmed that an EF2 tornado hit the middle of downtown yesterday. You are looking at surveillance video from Main Street that captured the storm coming through Bamberg and a historic building collapsing. The cleanup is just beginning. Kim Vickers spent the day in Bamberg County talking with people who live in town about the damage.
Devastation is so much more than I expected in just a short time.
People hunkered down trying to stay safe as a tornado tore through downtown Bamberg Tuesday afternoon. It uprooted trees, ripped off roofs, and devastated at least 4 historic buildings, including the old city hall and several businesses.
We did go in cover in the house. We were in a closet for about 3 minutes, and in that time period, we came out, and all the devastation happened that quick. So it just tells me how soon things can change in our lives, in our community, and for our businesses.
Pastor Gary Warshall is the interim pastor at Bamberg Church of the Nazarene. He says that the church building and parsonage were not damaged, only a tree down. He says he's grateful no one was injured or worse.
Everyone in our church is safe. There's no damage other than most of our people is out of electricity since last night.
Rick Berkey of Aiken is with the South Carolina Baptist Disaster Relief. He spent the morning in Bamberg looking for people that his organization could help.
Chainsaw work primarily would be called for here with tree removal for private owners and those who have damage.
The National Weather Service came to Bamberg on Wednesday to survey the damage and determine how strong the tornado was.
And what we do is we look at what's been damaged, whether it's trees or structures, and then we look at the degree of that damage. And from there, we're able to come up with a wind speed estimate. And we use that to come up with a rating, which is on the EF scale that we use.
Berkey tells me that during traumatic events, people appreciate the help that the South Carolina Baptist Disaster Relief provides.
And you see where when you go into the home and you go into the area that's been damaged, you see sadness, you see being overwhelmed, and just not knowing which way to turn. And by the time our volunteers have completed their work and done what they can for the homeowner, you see a smile, you see a hug.
In Bamberg, Kim Vickers, WJBF News Channel 6.
Due to the widespread damage from the storm, all Bamberg County schools will learn from home tomorrow and Friday. District campuses will reopen on Tuesday, January 16th. Well, time now for our first look at our weather, and thankfully we weathered the storm, but more is on the way. Meteorologist Jenna Petrocchi joins us now. Jenna.
That's right, Dee. And taking a look first at all our storm reports from yesterday, they were pretty widespread across our entire region. A lot of this was wind damage. You can see most of that up in Columbia County, parts of Richmond County, near the lake. But of course, what stands out was that EF2 tornado that we just heard about down in Bamberg, 125-mile-per-hour winds. So fortunately, we are dealing with a break for now with the weather. It's very calm, but we do still have some flood warnings in place for Saluda, Washington, and Johnson counties. This is just for some river and stream flooding as those water levels have risen. Check out these wind speeds, though. I'm sure a lot of you woke up to the high winds last night. We had some power outages even overnight. Those winds registered 44 miles per hour in Augusta, 45 in Aiken, 40 in Thompson and Sandersville. So fortunately, those winds are finally much lighter. Actually, completely calm here in the metro, only 6 miles per hour in Aiken. So definitely a nice change of pace. Not seeing our flag blown much anymore. Here's a live look at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam over at the airport. And as for today, we did have a much cooler round of air move in. 53 was our high. We started out the day in the upper 30s, and right now we're already getting close to the upper 30s. 41 in Augusta, 44 in McCormick, Swainsboro at 45, right at 40 in Aiken, one of our coolest spots, 44 in Edgefield, and 45 in Waynesboro. We're under mostly clear skies. High pressure is in control. That means it will be a nice night tonight, just a little chilly, falling into the upper 30s by 10 o'clock. And we'll continue to see those lighter winds tonight. But as we go into Friday, that's when we have the next alert day for some very gusty winds along with the potential of severe weather. So all those details coming up. But back to you, Dee.
All right. Thanks so much. We'll see you in a few more minutes. Well, the city of Thompson has a new police chief. City council met this morning after Donovan Jones removed himself from consideration of the position. The city council voted to hire Daniel Carrier, who is currently a lieutenant working in the property crime division of Richmond County's Sheriff's Department. Carrier starts his new position on January 29th. A man has been arrested in the death of an Aiken businessman. Alexander Boone is charged with burglary and murder in the death of Swint Porky Bradbury. Bria Smith has the latest on the investigation.
On Tuesday, law enforcement responded to a call at Bradbury's residence.
Mr. Bradbury was well thought of, business owner, and respected in the community.
Captain Martin Sawyer with the Aiken Department of Public Safety tells me it was Bradbury's friend who made that 911 call.
We received a call for a possible burglary. Our officers arrived on scene, was investigating what they thought might be a burglary, and found a deceased person inside the house. SLED crime scene was called in, and they were called in because of the complexity of what we saw in the crime scene. They're crime scene experts.
The suspect has been identified as 27-year-old Alexander Boone and has been charged with burglary, first degree, and murder.
Where he was taken into custody was the parking lot of Aiken Hospital. He was taken to our headquarters, possibly to be interviewed, then he'll be taken to the jail.
Warrants say Boone stole objects that belonged to Bradbury. Those warrants say Bradbury was hit in the head several times with some type of object.
It don't matter if you're a prominent businessman, a homeless person living on the street. It don't matter who you are. We work your murder case as hard as we can until we can either get it cleared up or we have no other leads to go on. So for us, there's no difference in him versus a homeless guy on the street. For the general public, it probably is sometimes because he is prominent and it is such a shock to the system and all the friends he had. So
law enforcement says they used every resource available to find answers.
You can get so much more done by working with other agencies. I mean, you're doubling or tripling your manpower on these kind of scenes. So, I think that is the primary reason that this was solved so quick, is just working together.
The investigation is ongoing, and the Aiken County Department of Public Safety is asking for the public's help. Anyone with additional information about the murder should call the number on your screen, 803-642-7620. Now to the latest in the search for a city administrator remaining finalists. Several inmates at the Trenton Correctional Institution are now graduates. Aiken Bureau Chief Sean Cabbage-Stock takes us there.
In a place like this, sometimes you can start feeling hopeless. But this program teaches us that not only is there hope, but we got a foundation to stand on.
Jumpstart is a Christ-centered, nonprofit re-entry program designed for men and women with 2 years or less on their sentence within the South Carolina Department of Corrections. 10 people are graduating from it at Trenton Correctional.
This is just not something that I've been through. It's just not an experience. It's something that I will carry with me for the rest of my life.
For 40 weeks, the curriculum incorporates content from the Life Workbook, The Purpose-Driven Life, and the Bible.
If it seems like it's a little harder than it should be, a lot of individuals drop out because this is a serious program.
A set of rules and regulations helps maintain discipline and commitment. Participants are required to attend classes weekly.
I have this saying that I say at each institution: if you're not serious about Jesus, you won't be serious about Jumpstart.
Pastor Timothy Murray's successful transition from Jumpstart participant to the outside world highlights the program's effectiveness.
If an individual applies the core values of Jumpstart: accountability, responsibility, and authority, and be willing to fellowship and allow God to change their life would never be the same.
Jumpstart extends support beyond prison gates, providing job training and employment assistance for its graduates.
It helped me get my first job, but because of the calling on my life and what God had for me, it brought me back to Jumpstart. And now I'm able to work with the men and women that's inside the institution.
The program is in nearly 20 South Carolina prisons. It has a 96% success rate.
It's about doing it. The Bible calls it letting your light shine. You know, so I look forward to the day I can go out there and let my light shine.
In Trenton, I'm Macon Bureau Chief Sean Cabbage-Stock, WJBF News Channel 6.
And congratulations. Well, the Peach State will get a new dental and medical school. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp says it's part of his budget proposal to allocate $178 million to build a first of its kind at Georgia Southern University. Another $50 million will go toward a medical school at the University of Georgia. Tomorrow, Governor Brian Kemp will highlight other key legislative priorities at the State of the State, which is at 11 a.m. Count on us to bring you all of the details from his speech. Up next, a federal program that helps low-income mothers feed their children may be facing a budget cut. We'll tell you why when coverage you can count on continues.
Hey there, Georgia. A family call today for that free in-home estimate.
You could see a lot of light here. Cars are out there actually aggravating. I need to take
Mom?
She's on her way, bud.
Hey, hon. Nasty out there.
Glad you're home.
Stay safe.
I will. Tell them to save me some.
When others head in, we head out. Dominion Energy. After you've been
The federal program WIC that helps feed millions of low-income mothers and their babies across the country is facing a potential budget cut. And that's if Congress does not agree to increase funding and its plan to keep the government open after January 19th. Here's Raquel Martin with more.
Up to 2 million expecting mothers and newborns could miss out on nutritious meals if Congress fails to increase funding for the WIC program soon.
USDA has informed Congress that it's about a $1 billion shortfall.
Department of Agriculture Deputy Secretary Xochitl Torres Small says WIC, a federal welfare program that serves about half of all infants born in the U.S., needs more money to meet increased demand. But it's unclear if that will happen, while lawmakers are racing to avoid a government shutdown in 9 days. At the urging of conservatives, Democrats and Republicans agreed not to increase spending in next year's budget.
It's been a bipartisan program for a quarter of a century. We hope that Congress will make the right decision.
With time running out to act, this week 169 Democrats wrote directly to congressional leaders pleading for them to include additional WIC funding inside the budget. So far, congressional leaders have not confirmed if additional WIC funding will make the final text. Republicans like Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt say the $1.59 trillion price tag is already too high, and he fears there's no time to have a fair debate about WIC.
Chuck Schumer doesn't have any interest in actually having these real debates. I think if that's a proposal, let's hear it out and let's vote on it.
USDA says WIC is proven successful.
Kids who receive WIC perform better cognitively. Women have fewer premature births.
She says some states are considering waitlisting WIC applicants if Congress does not act in time. In Washington, Raquel Martin.
Coming up, we'll check in with Jennifer Tracci for the full forecast.
Friday.
now your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live 5 for 6.
Good Wednesday evening. I hope you enjoyed your day. Hopefully those winds didn't wake you up this morning. I know they woke me up. I even had a power outage. Those winds stayed super strong overnight, but the good news is that everything is much calmer now. Here's a look at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam over in Aiken. Just a cold night, already down into the low 40s. Dew points are low. We have a lot of dry and cold air in place with consistent temperatures. Most of us in the low 40s, a little bit warmer further south, 45 in Swainsboro, but 40 in Thompson, Aiken at 42, 41 in Barnwell. Winds are only up to around 5 miles per hour. What a relief. But tomorrow it will already start to get more breezy. For now, though, we do have high pressure in control. That'll keep us dry tomorrow with a good amount of sunshine. Here's your day planner starting at around 30 degrees, and it will be a much warmer day, increasing to 60. Now, notice as we go into Friday, it will be even warmer than that, 65. But what does the warmer weather mean? That means stormy weather is ahead as well. And check out these winds going right back up to 40 mile per hour gusts on Friday at least. If we do have severe thunderstorms, they'll be even higher than that. And then similar to today, behind that front, the following day, winds will still be very gusty. So we have another very dynamic system moving our way. This will bring a severe weather threat for the western half of the southeast on Thursday. Then will impact us on Friday. The Storm Prediction Center has already placed us under an enhanced risk, level 3 out of 5 on the scale. And this is the day 3, so definitely something pretty significant. So we're keeping a very close eye on this event. For now, high pressure over us, but it moves off the coast, and more clouds will start to move in Thursday evening. First, we'll have a warm front come through. Very similar setup to what we had yesterday. That puts us in the warm sector of things, so this is where we have instability. That's why it'll be warming up. So once the cold front slides through, that's when we'll have the potential of some of those strong storms. Now, you'll notice here as we take it closer to home that it doesn't look as bad as yesterday did, but it's these cells here where we have to watch for potential tornadic development, and notice these wind barbs as well. Very, very gusty, even outside of storms. Now, this is the main line here. Definitely doesn't look that significant. So overall, not expecting as much widespread heavy rain. But as I mentioned, we do have that potential of some tornadic activity. The storm energy that we always look at is higher than it was on Tuesday, seeing more of a green color instead of just blue. So that's why I have put the threat of tornadoes at medium. But our main concern here is definitely the damaging winds once again. Our lows tonight will be in the low 30s, right around freezing with just a light breeze. Highs tomorrow will be in the upper 50s, the low 60s, a nice seasonable day. And the Viper 6 alert day comes back on Friday. Back to sunshine over the weekend though. It will be breezy and cooler again. A few showers to start next week, but then we will have much colder weather the majority of the week. So that'll be the main story there. And we'll be right back.
George St.
DC Pros.
Hi, I'm Mary Morrison with this week's community calendar. A parade honoring the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is scheduled for January 13th in Augusta. The city is teaming up with the Augusta branch of the NAACP to host this event. The parade will begin at 1 p.m. at Dias Park Community Center on James Brown Boulevard. For more information, call the number on your screen. Add your events. Log on to WJBF.com, keyword community calendar.
The WJBF Live Viper 6 Skyview Network is sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai. Low prices, big selection, and committed to quality customer service.
Following that shocking moment inside a Las Vegas courtroom, the man who attacked a judge caught on camera is charged with attempted murder, battery, and extortion, among other charges. Here's Melissa Dahm with more.
Deobert Redden was back in court Tuesday, this time on charges related to that attack on the Las Vegas judge when he leapt across the bench, attacking the judge during his original sentencing last week. In this viral video, 27-year-old law clerk Michael Lasso is credited with aiding the judge after authorities say Redden punched the judge, hit her with an object, and pulled out her hair.
I just thought when he first hopped over that desk, he was going for the door. And when he didn't go for the door and instead he starts charging at the judge, I was just in shock. And I just reacted.
ABC's Kana Whitworth met with Lasso, who was being hailed a hero.
What did that judicial bench look like in the aftermath?
In the aftermath, it was a bloody scene. There was just blood everywhere.
On Monday, Redden, wearing a spit mask and in shackles, sentenced to up to 4 years in prison for his original case. As for the case against the judge, a new judge presiding over the case, charging him with attempted murder, battery, and extortion charges, among others.
You understand these charges?
Yes, I understand.
The incident sparking a larger issue to safety of judges. U.S. District Court Judge Esther Salas knows about the threat. Her son was murdered by a gunman at her home who was targeting her.
We need to focus on all judges at every level. State, local judges. There are over 30,000 of them. There's so many states and U.S. territories that don't have any laws protecting judicial officers. We need to change that.
Redden's family says he has mental health issues. However, the court found him competent to participate in the court hearings. Redden has now requested a public defender as the attorney originally representing him is now a witness in the new charges against him, according to court documents. He's due back in court next month. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Let's go ahead. New footage of a UAP never been found, which is pretty bad as well and curious, but I'm glad it's not right now.
Right? I mean, 5 years ago, and we haven't really heard anything happen with this mysterious jellyfish, so I think we're okay.
Or the jellyfish has not been detected. It's still up.
Yeah, I wonder if it's still just flying around, having some fun out there. Well, tomorrow will be a nice day, but then we're right back to a Viper 6 alert day on Friday. We have some scattered storms moving in, definitely some gusty winds, and also the chance of severe weather. Back to sunshine, and then next week will be very cold.
All right, there you have it. We'll see you again at 10 on MeTV. We're always with you at WJBF.com. Entertainment Tonight is next.
Hello 2024. The Rooms to Go New Year sale is here. Say hello style, hello comfort, hello savings. Shop online or in store and start the new year off right with amazing sale prices that make anything possible. Let's celebrate. Let's decorate. The Rooms to Go New Year sale is going on now.
Aiken Symphony presents Street